I grew up in a church that we didn't go to church very often. So didn't really know what baptism was all about. Had a few good role models in the town I grew up in, but wasn't much interested in baptism or going to church very often at all. After coming to work at Highland, moving to Abilene, it became more interesting to me, and as it was modeled better by father-in-law, by cousin.
Dickie Porsche, Steve Hare. I mean, I think that there were so many people. I had prayed for many years, but especially once we got to Abilene, just prayed that God would put a man in his life. And God answered that prayer, not just with one man, he answered with lots of men. He put him working in Highland Church of Christ, and so he was surrounded.
Reason for wanting to get baptized was I was a father now and had been for 5-7 years, and just wanting to be a better role model for my children, be a better father, a better husband, just a better person altogether. And so after some study with an elder or two, made the decision to get baptized. And actually right here behind us, which we did not own at the time, Brenda Crane owned it, and she was just a big part of my life at church when she was working there. And I chose this place to get baptized because we had some special ties with her and whatnot.
Whenever I think of my baptism and the baptism story, I think of it starting before I was even born. I think of my grandparents, really even my great-grandparents, that were praying into the generations that would be following Jesus. And so then I think of the rituals and the Bible studies and the way that my parents did their very best to demonstrate that love and grace of Jesus to me. My baptism, the physical act of being immersed into water, as a really crucial physical marker of choice in my faith journey. I came out of the water, the physical water of baptism, but I remained fully immersed into the life and the death and the resurrection of Jesus. That my baptism story continues.
For the longest time, I felt like I wasn't ready, wasn't good enough, or didn't really know what it meant to be baptized. And I started asking more questions. Through the years, I had been having deeper talks with people, church camp and whatnot. But I think I started really thinking about it when I had that conversation with my mom, and she's told me that I'm never going to be ready. It's just going to be something that you're going to have to dive right in and pour yourself into. And then the next day I went on another Bible study, and I had a friend tell me that you're never going to be ready, and that's 2 times I heard the same message. And that night I called her, and then I called my poppy and asked if he would baptize me. I picked this location, one, because I know my dad has been baptized here, and so that meant a lot to me. And then being baptized by Larry, that was really special because he's always been a pretty steady Christian role model for me, really just excellent man. And I knew he baptized my dad, and I knew that would be special. I think what I hope flows out of this is that, like my dad, I hope that eventually for my family, I'm not a dad yet or anything, but I hope that I am going to be a good Christian role model for them. I hope I can lead by example. I'm going to be reading Romans 6:4-5. Therefore, we have been buried with him by baptism into death, so that just as Christ was raised from the dead by the glory of the Father, so we too might walk in newness of life. For we have been united with him in death like his. We will certainly be united with him in resurrection like his.